Right, live from Atlanta, Georgia tonight, ahead of the Royal Rumble, and it's time to talk about this transfer window because it's time to heat up a little bit on SmackDown. We had three moves that I remember off the top of my head. We had Miz go to SmackDown, we had Priest go to SmackDown, and we had A-Town Down Under go to Raw. So now, are we going to see a bit more movement on the Red brand as well? Now, there's been a few people kind of in and around Raw over the last couple of weeks, seemingly looking at moving over. There's been a couple that are interested in moving back the other way. Now, initially, I thought that the American-made team of Gable, the Creeds, and Ivy Now would be an ideal to go to SmackDown, purely on the basis that, well, the US title's over there, and I feel like that's an ideal for Gable to win a singles title this year. But it does look like he has a bit of a storyline going with someone in the dark arts of Lucha Libre, so that'd be interesting to see how that goes, or if it goes anywhere, see if they move over at all. Someone that has been heavily on the Raw brand as of late is Nia Jax. Now, would I like to see Nia Jax on Raw? Yeah, I think she's been really good at them recently. I think she did a lot with the WWE Women's Championship. I think she would be a plausible threat for Rhea, despite the fact that she lost Saturday night's main event. You could have her come back and have another crack at it at a later date. But there feels like there's unfinished business with Tiffany Stratton there, so maybe not. It feels like I'm looking at people that possibly don't have anything going for them at the moment, no movement in a sense. And there's very few, to be honest, that are in that bracket. One person I would be looking at, and obviously Raw is becoming the kind of flagship, it seems. Possibly Roman, possibly the Bloodline, probably Jimmy, that kind of storyline, bring it over to Raw, have the world title be the one that everyone goes for in a sense, maybe slide the WWE title to the side, or maybe you do bring Cody Rhodes to the Red Band, which would mean Gunther goes the other way in that trade, surely. But it's going to be interesting to see who moves where and what we get from it going forward. There isn't too many people I would say are nailed on for moves across, but my thinking is that with Raw now seemingly being the flagship again, now it's got the better deal with Netflix, and obviously SmackDown is now back on USA after its Fox deal has run out. You're feeling like the bigger stars are going to probably end up on the Red brand, and you're going to see your main eventers who you see as kind of minor main eventers in a sense, possibly moving over to the Blue brand. And there's probably Drew I would possibly look at as a possible move over. There's a few who, and does this kind of classes with NXT, because there's a few in NXT who look like they're ready for the move up. I'm looking at people like Trick Williams, Roxanne Perez, maybe Tony D'Angelo, but he has the North American title, so probably not at the moment. But there's a few on NXT's brand who you'd think could do with a step up or a new move in a new area in a sense. But we'll see what happens. We are less than a week away from the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble is on Saturday. It will be interesting to see who comes out the victor of those two Royal Rumble matches. The road to WrestleMania is starting, and we're looking forward to it. There will be a predictions video on the Royal Rumble on Wednesday, so I'm going to get that out. I know a couple of matches. Well, one more match was added. I think it was the tag match was added on SmackDown. I'm hoping there's one more added on Raw. I think usually it's 5 for the Royal Rumble. The 2 Rumble matches and then 3 other matches usually. But we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. And who comes out the victor on those cards. And we move into WrestleMania territory. And it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. But what do you guys think? Who is going where in this transfer window saga that has occurred in WWE? Are you happy with the transfer window or how it's panning out? Would you prefer it just to be a draft? My personal opinion would be I would have a transfer window between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble, right? Probably not that long, but maybe like a month or so. Maybe like kind of have it a set time frame of like a couple of weeks. That allows people to move around on Raw and SmackDown. Then I would use the draft as your NXT call-ups. So you'd have a draft night on Raw, and each side would get, I don't know, 3 or 4 drafts, depending on how big of a pool you want to throw in there. Which obviously then allows NXT to bring people up and kind of works their system in a sense. And you use NXT as the draft, like the college football they have in America, and you use the transfer window as you're moving people to and from, so then you can freshen up on the road to WrestleMania. I think those 2 ideas are the best ideas in a sense, because then you have the reset just before the Mania season. You have your Mania season occur, then you have your draft just after Mania, then you have your new people in, and then you can bed them people in with the new people on the roster who may have started to develop or have developed, in a sense, a storyline. Some kind of had some sort of story going on, and it keeps everything fresh. And then you have that period of WrestleMania, or just after WrestleMania, because I'd say a couple of weeks after WrestleMania, you'd have the draft. You have that period up to SummerSlam, kind of bedding everyone in and getting your big storylines out. Then you have SummerSlam to Survivor Series. They probably do go all around the world. They're probably doing it anyway, going around the world the whole year. And then the Survivor Series to Royal Rumble is your kind of transfer window time, in a sense. So it splits it up between the big pay-per-views. Like I said, Survivor Series to Royal Rumble would be your draft time. Sorry, not draft time, your transfer window. Then you've got Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. Then Mania to SummerSlam is your draft and progression forward. And then SummerSlam to Survivor Series is just the lull, in a sense. Maybe the draft goes between SummerSlam and Survivor Series. But guys, let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe if you are new. Like this video if you haven't subscribed if you're new. Until next time, guys, take care.